Counselor? There's a raccoon stuck in the vending machine.
That's so annoying. I wanted a snack.
Welcome to Trail Mix.
Our mini episodes from Camp Counselors podcast.
Each week, the stories come from you, our Camp Shady Birch campers.
We want to hear your juicy gossip,
Top secret confessions,
embarrassing and scary stories.
and sprinkle in our sage counselor advice.
Trail Mix is for the campers.
And God, do we love ya. Hey, happy campers. Welcome back to Trail Mix.
This is our mini episode where we read listener-submitted stories from listeners like you.
Thank you.
We got rid of it for an episode or two, and it's coming right back.
Well, we both were PBS kids.
So I was just scrolling on TikTok, as I do, and our friend Rod had posted a video of him like dancing in a corner. He put on Free Willy on the Touch Tunes.
Can you remind me what that is? What's that? It's not ringing a bell to me, the Free Willy
Free
song.
Willy? Well, it doesn't have words in it. It's like, well, I'm sure it does, but you would know it when you heard it. But essentially, he's a millennial, so he's putting on a millennial song via Touch Tunes. Have you ever downloaded the Touch Tunes app?
100%. Yes, of course.
For our counselors who might not know what that is,
Our
it's
campers.
like, I'm sorry, we're the counselors. Hello. Scratch that, reverse it. For our campers who might not know what that is, it's like the modern day jukebox, right?
Yeah, some bars have it, and it's an app that you can like request songs and play songs. You have to pay for them, right?
You used to have to walk up to the screen and do it, but now you can download the app and literally do it from your phone. And yeah, you have to pay, but I think you get like a token or two for free.
Yeah, it's like one free song, but they hook you in that way, and you're like, wait.
Yeah.
And it's you. That's like very up your alley. I can
100%.
tell. You're like, you love to get the aux cord in your hand.
I do. And I'm either gonna like make or break the moment. It's usually not in between. It's never any background music. I'll just say that.
It's true. You either get the party started or everyone says, who the fuck put this on?
Oh my God, I won't forget. I was at a party in college, and it was with like a lot of cool people who ended up being criminals. I didn't know it at the time, but anyway, we were listening to music and everybody's like vibing, having a good time, and I don't remember what the fuck I had put on, but it was my turn. I was like, my song's on the queue, and three people looked around the room and said, what the fuck is this? And I didn't say a word. Yeah, it was mortifying. It was embarrassing, but it reminded me of the time we were in Portland and this girl was sitting at the bar. It was like you, me, and her. And she was a couple sheets to the wind. What is it? 3 sheets to the wind. 3 sheets to the wind,
yeah.
I asked her if she could play the Shrek soundtrack, and I thought it was hilarious to continuously play the same song from Shrek 2. I don't remember what it was, but the bartender, after it played for a third time, absolutely scolded this woman. I felt bad. I was like, I am so sorry. That was my idea. But it looks like there was a story that she was already mad at that girl before we got there.
This was the most Portland theme. It was like Portland on steroids. First of all, we're eating a breakfast platter with a PBR at 11 o'clock at night. Full bacon. It's this dark, seedy, like wood-based bar. There's Christmas lights everywhere. There's like wanted posters on the wall. And this girl is like, I haven't been here in 9 months. Last time I was here, my ex was here, and we got into a big fight. It was a blowout. The cops got involved, but I'm back tonight to regain my spot at the bar. And it was just like the weirdest people ever. And she kept playing that song, and it was like, you did egg it on.
Oh,
you
yeah.
did.
I
it was
requested
funny.
it.
I don't know why he yelled at her. He was in the wrong.
No, I think it was a girl. The bartendress. I think she was.
Just bartender.
I don't remember. But either way, I remember when we sat down, another song was playing. She was on Touch Tunes. I could see it open on her phone. One of those songs where she was just singing and trying to like seem like mysterious. Do you remember that?
Oh my God, she was trying to like get people to know. And then you said to her, "Great, that sounded great," like as a joke.
Oh, well, I wasn't making fun of her.
No, you were
Don't paint me out to be a villain.
No, you weren't making fun of her, but you were feeling silly and you were like just feeling like conversational.
Yeah, I was.
And she was like, "Oh, I know I'm good."
Okay, and then I was like, shit.
She was like, "Oh no, I'm not a joke. Okay, like I am a professional singer," and it's like, it's not.
I don't know about that.
She had a story for every moment. We were with her for 15 minutes, and I think she changed the world.
I vlogged it. This was a long time ago, but that was one of my first vlogs. It's not on Patreon, but it's somewhere on the internet. And I wonder if you can see her or hear her in the background. You can't see her. I wouldn't have put that in, but I wonder if you can hear her like telling tales.
You
in the back.
can. She's in something in the background, and we can hear her.
Oh my God, that was 4 years ago. Shut up. I should go see if I can find that. Anyway, I don't know how we got here, but I'm so glad we did. Touch Tunes.
We're installing one at camp.
That would be so fun. I love an aux cord. I do.
All the profits will be going to Sandwich's insurance premium.
Let's get into our stories. Campers.
I have a camper seeking advice on a family member crossing the line at the cemetery.
Oh, God. A post-prom confession that ended in a night in the woods.
And I have a camper who still can't get over her second grade teacher.
And an embarrassing story that happened right next to a casket.
Let's get into it, campers.
Are we qualified to be giving advice? No. Are we going to do it anyway? Absolutely.
Welcome back to Dear Counselors, campers. This is the part of the show where we share our advice for your listeners.
Queries.
Yeah, your queries.
Your queer queries.
Your queer queries. Hi, camp counselors. First, let me just say that I love your show. It brings me so much joy, and I love being a Cabin 5 camper. Oh, thank you for being Cabin 5.
Thank you. Patreon.com/campcounselors.
I have a pretty small family. A couple years ago, my grandmother died unexpectedly, leaving us all pretty shaken up. I was very close to my grandma, and her death was very difficult for me to process. She died the same year that I was getting married, and it was such a struggle to grieve while also planning a wedding. Despite getting married to my extremely supportive husband and having the best wedding day, overall, the year was very rough. Fast forward to present day. I'm in a much better place mentally. My family has drifted a little bit, but worked to stay close despite my grandparents not being around to keep everyone together. My cousin and his wife recently had a baby, and they both love to post pictures online. Here's where my issue starts. Whenever they go to the cemetery to visit my grandparents' grave, my cousin's wife takes a ton of photos of their baby next to the gravestone and posts them on Facebook. This happened on more than one occasion, and it's never just one photo per visit. It's all angles. A full-on photo shoot. Am I insane, or is this incredibly tasteless? The only people who should be taking photos in the cemetery are scene kids trying to get good emo MySpace profile pictures. All joking aside, it can be slightly jarring to open up my Facebook and the first thing is on my feed is a baby smiling next to my grandparents' tombstone. My God. I wonder if I'm just being too sensitive because losing my grandparents was so hard for me to deal with personally. To make matters worse, many of my family members hype up these photos and support this behavior online. I was venting to my best friend about this and she said, "What would Gigi think if they were taking pics of her on her grave?" And so I immediately decided to turn to you. I'm not trying to be confrontational, and I know there's not much I can do, but I guess I'm just looking for some validation. Is this weird and disrespectful, or should I start looking for an outfit to take my own photo shoot with Grandma? The camper is taking selfies in the graveyard behind cabin 13.
Full validation on how you're feeling. Obviously, you're still like, it's upsetting, and you're still mourning, and everybody mourns in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
But my recommendation to you would be, I mean, it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter if I think this is tasteless or not. I don't really necessarily mind it, but you do. So this is what we're going to do for you. I think on Facebook, you should mute her. I think you can either mute or is it snooze? It's something like that. But if you see one of the posts that comes up, just click those crazy 3 little dots and you can snooze her for like 30 days or I think maybe indefinitely. She won't know that you've silently blocked her, where it's like you didn't block her, but she's just not going to pop up on your timeline. And I think that's just what you need, because what are you going to do? You can't really tell someone else what to do. You know, you do have your opinion in it being distasteful, which is completely valid, but I would just snooze. I think you got to look out for yourself and your journey and your healing, and I just, get it off the timeline. Do what you can to get it off the timeline.
I like that, because I feel like with that suggestion, you're really taking back the power of how you process other people's stuff, right? Because you could lash out and speak your piece, but like in the long run, that's not going to really help anything or the family. I think that's kind of protecting your peace by hitting the snooze. Yeah. You're not deleting her. You're not blocking her. You're just removing her from you seeing her on our timeline. So like you'd have to go to her page, because the baby photo shoots are probably going to continue to happen. Yeah. They'll just turn into toddler photo shoots. And
then first grade, and then put the capping gown on top of the stone.
I think in their defense, they probably think that they're honoring their grandma by bringing the next generation to the grandparents' grave, you know what I mean? So,
but it is upsetting to you, and that's like, I get that. I totally get that.
Protect your peace, camper. We love you and support you.
I've been really working on improving my health, and a part of that is drinking my AG1 every morning before I even make my coffee. But obviously after I feed my cat, or she would have my head. It makes me feel like I'm starting my day off right, even if things go off the rails later, which here at camp it usually does. AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement that delivers daily nutrients and gut health support. Plus, it's backed by multiple research studies, so you can trust what you're putting in your body. Counselor Zachariah and I have used AG1 for almost 2 years now, and we truly love how it makes us feel. AG1 is a formula you can trust because it's backed by research studies and experts. They do the research, so I don't have to. Personally, I'm always looking for more energy in my day, but drinking coffee all day gives me the shakes and launches my anxiety into orbit. But drinking AG1 gives me the energy I need to power through my day without the shakes or anxiety. In a study, 91% of participants noticed that they needed less coffee after 60 days of drinking AG1. If I had to recommend one product to support whole body health, it would be AG1, and that's why I'm excited to have them as a new partner. Now you can try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase at drinkag1.com/camp. That's drinkag1.com/CAMP. This episode of Camp Counselors is sponsored by BetterHelp. It's time to check in, campers. This year is truly flying by, and I know you've accomplished a lot. And when life goes fast, it's important to take a moment and celebrate your wins. Therapy can help you take stock of your progress and set achievable goals for the next 6 months. Personally, I love therapy, and I learned so much in therapy. Not only did I learn how to set boundaries and form better relationships with others, but I also learned how to set and achieve my goals. Because most of the time, it's hard for me to see past Friday night. But through therapy, I've been able to take a second and map out my next steps to reach that next win. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. So take a moment. Visit betterhelp.com/camp today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/camp.
This is a really big secret. Thank God we're on a body of water. This is Confession Canoe.
Welcome back to Confession Canoe. It's fun to say. Say it with that. Try saying it.
I can't. Welcome back.
Oh my God.
Let me just do it.
Okay.
Welcome back to Confession Canoe. It was kind of something.
Yeah, it was something all right. Okay, this is Confession Canoe. If you have a confession, confess to us. We'll keep it completely anonymous. You know where to send it. If you don't, it's campcounselorspod@gmail.com or campcounselorspodcast.com. Thank you so much for writing in. Okay, here we go. Hi, CSB founding fathers. Why did I read that and not know? Like, I was like, CBS? Like, what?
Because we don't
Camp
ever
Shady
do the
Birch.
acronym.
We never do. I
Yeah,
love
and
an
we
acronym.
And we should.
CSB, Camp Shady Birch. We've only been doing this for like 90 episodes, and I'm just now figuring out that that's what it stands for. Okay. I love you both so much, and I'm actually obsessed with being a camper. And this podcast is lights out. I love that. Anyway, not to make this about me, but I have a confession for the High Council. Girl, this episode is for you. This episode is for the counselor or for the campers. I need to watch my mouth. This is an origin story about my sudden rise to fame in the high school pecking order. Beautifully written. It was the spring of 2013, the night of junior prom. I was always kind of the uncool loner nerd in school, and there was this one group of girls just nice enough to let me join their group on various school functions and activities. We all agreed to go to prom together, and we were having fun, but pretty standard prom evening. Got our makeup done, took cute pics, went to Jimmy John's for dinner. You can judge, but I'm judging myself. I'm not judging. I mean, the owner of Jimmy John's, I do judge. But
I just like the idea of you going to junior prom and like being in the outfit and then sitting in the booth at Jimmy John's. I think it's funny.
Yeah, it's giving Cinderella story.
It would have been funny in any place you went to, even if you're at an Olive Garden. Like, I think it's funny just to be like in the full getup. And Jimmy John's is good, so.
And then we made our way to the high school gymnasium to shake our yabos to some Kesha. Whilst at the dance, murmurs of an after party started to go around. I was never a drinker in high school and had never really been to a party. I definitely had some anxiety, but felt pressured to, so I decided to go.
Good for you, camper.
I chose to drive myself because I wanted a quick escape if needed.
Yeah, that's setting boundaries. You're pushing yourself, but you're also giving yourself grace to leave when you want.
Exactly. Anxious girlies will understand. We totally understand. This party was taking place out at someone's camp in the middle of the woods.
Was this Camp Shady Perch?
Well, it says out at someone's camp and a thing, but I think it was just like a house in the middle of the woods. We're just like, we're doing the thing.
She's being
yeah,
playful.
she's being clever. So I wouldn't get busted. Sorry. So the house is in the middle of the woods. They thought it wouldn't get busted, blah, blah, blah. So I roll up to the party and walk in. Okay. Okay. Let's just picture this for a second. I was immediately embarrassed because no one told me I should change out of my prom
And
dress.
that's something, right? So let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah.
Because I would have thought to change.
Yeah. I would have
instantly.
thought to change as well.
But you didn't go to any of these before.
No.
So
And it's
you're
your junior prom.
So honestly, you're kind of looking like, so let's just reframe this, kind of a slay.
Yeah.
Because now you're looking like the belle of the ball while the popular girl is in her pink sweatpants folded down. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
her Sophie shorts, please.
Sophie shorts.
Her juicy couture tracksuits. They probably looked like really cute and had lip gloss, and they were like, doing it up for the party. Did you have a post prom?
Yeah, after prom?
Was your prom at the school?
No, our after prom was in the gym though.
Yeah, see, our after prom was at the school, and then prom itself
Was that like a banquet hall?
It was at a casino.
Yeah, was it Valley Forge?
Yeah.
You won't take me.
I've only been there since then.
I beg you, every time we drive by on the way to your parents' house.
You know what? Okay. My PA girlies who are around the King of Prussia area, does anybody remember the bar Deuces Wild? It's
a great name for a bar.
It was. And it had like hot country guys, and they would do square dancing and they would do line dancing, much like Texas Roadhouse.
Bring it back.
And they had a mechanical bull. And it was the first time one of my older cousins, I was like 21, and like the first time he was like bringing me to an out place. It wasn't a gay place at all, but he was like, I thought you'd like it because the guys are here. And I was like, oh my God, wait, that was actually thoughtful. And this place is fun. Thank you so much. And then they closed it. Deuces Wild, bring it back.
Yeah. Well, I think it seemed like very specific.
Yeah.
Tough location. There's a lot of competition in KOP.
Not so much for like a nightclub. I guess it's because if you're in that area, you're going to downtown Philly.
Yeah.
But it's at the casino, and I think it was a fun vibe.
The casino is flopping though. It's a big flop.
Their parking lot is a mountain.
Yeah.
It is the hardest hill to climb down.
This isn't about us.
Isn't it, Jonathan? Knock it off. Okay, where was I? Okay, so she's embarrassed because she walks in. Nobody told her to change the outfit. So she's in her prom dress. Everyone's in juicy couture
junior banquet
tracksuit.
dress. So at least it's shorter, hopefully. If it's floor length, oh my God.
This wasn't a junior banquet. It was her junior year prom.
Yeah, junior prom.
Junior banquet.
We had junior banquet. So we had junior banquet and then senior prom, which was like our junior prom. Did the junior prom girls in your school wear prom dresses both years?
So we had junior prom and senior. It was the same thing. It was just you only got to go to prom junior year and senior year.
Yeah, we just didn't call it that. We just called it junior banquet. It was the same thing as a prom. It was just
No. It was the same event, like juniors and seniors together. It was the senior prom with the junior prom.
Oh, you guys were all hanging out in one big room?
Yeah, that's why we had it upstairs from Deuces Wild in King of Prussia.
Oh, we had two different events.
That's what I was understanding. You were saying ours wasn't different.
Oh, so
it was a prom dress.
Oh, okay. So wait.
Yeah, no, I think she's in a prom dress.
No, and that is a lot for like a house party in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
Wait, I would literally get on the outside and they get freaky outside in the dark with the leaves in my prom dress and be like, "Get in the water, get in the water," like a siren or something.
Oh, don't worry.
What did she do?
We'll get there. Hold on now.
Sorry,
Hold on. Everyone had on ripped jean shorts and slutty tops. There I was, full prom dress. It was giving Katie Herring / Elle Woods at a Halloween party. Oh my God, that is so true. Elle Woods at the Halloween party. I should have just turned around then and there, but then my friend group saw me, and how could they not? And they ushered me in for immediate shots. They were like, "Hey, girl, you do your thing. You still look great. Let's take shots." This group of friends is fun.
They're good.
These are good people. Bring them to Camp Shady Birch, please. And within an hour, I was totally feeling it. Drunk for the first time ever.
Yes, queen. Have fun.
I remember thinking I was absolutely slaying in my prom dress.
She probably was.
She probably was. That's all you need is the confidence is the utmost.
100%.
And got up on a piece of furniture specifically to pop, lock, and drop it. Then disaster struck. Out of nowhere, we hear a kerfuffle in the entryway. Shouting, running, flashlights. The police had arrived. People were running every which way, jumping out of windows, hiding under things. I was trapped in the living room. My only exit was going to be out of a window or the front door where they were. I hid in a closet for 15 minutes in her prom dress. Then I decided I had to get out of there. I exited the closet, and due to my high heels, she's in heels still, high heels and dress, I could not run. So my only choice was to walk to the front door calmly at a snail's pace. That's what you just pretend you were there the whole time, and you were just like, oh, this is my house. I'm just doing my normal day to day.
Yeah, or I'm a ghost.
Yeah. You like duck behind a bush when they turn around. They're like, hey, Sarge, did you see that girl? That girl in the prom dress? No one was wearing a prom dress in here. Oh my God, that's a good ghost story. You could have pretended you were a ghost. I stuck out like a sore thumb in my shimmery gown, but I actually made it almost down to the front porch before a police officer grabbed my wrist and said, where are you going? Have you been drinking? First off, the drinking's already done. Like, what are you going to do, officer?
But they don't want her driving and drinking underage or ever.
I get it.
I get that.
I get it.
Of course.
Maybe say, where are you going? I can take you home. There.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Inside, I panicked, but what came out of my mouth amazed myself. Yes, but the other policeman in the kitchen gave me an underage citation, which was totally not true. My mom is here to pick me up, and I'm going home. So he lets her off the loose. She does not get in her car and drive drunk, responsible camper. In a mad rush to catch as many kids as possible, the cop must have believed me because he then ran off to chase more kids. I could not believe my luck. So what did I do? I ran into the woods and literally slept there in the leaves until the morning like a brave little soldier. In her prom dress, she's sleeping in the woods in the leaves.
I could not physically fall asleep. I would be like so stressed. I would like lay there, but I wouldn't sleep. I'd be panicked.
On Monday at school, my friends all asked where I went and what had happened. Many kids got caught and had to deal with MIPs. What's that? MIPs?
I don't know.
/ angry parents. I relayed how I swindled the cop, and my story spread like wildfire. People started treating me different. I've been cool ever since.
Wait, period. That's amazing.
The cream always rises to the top,
It
boys.
does.
Signed, the unofficial prom queen in cabin 13.
I love that story.
That was a really great story.
Oh my God, that's so... Hey, you really turned lemons into lemonade. You didn't let it stop you. You led with your heart and your quick wit. And that's what got you there.
Your pink wit.
Yeah, your pink wit. Oh.
Great job, camper.
I also have a confession, Canoe.
Let's get to confessing.
Hi, counselors. I love the show so much and I've been listening for a while, so I finally decided to write in one of my own. You guys always make me laugh and I always look forward to the new episodes. Thank you. Anyways, this story goes back to the 2nd grade and how I started a rumor that almost ended my teacher's relationship. So my teacher in 2nd grade was brand new. She had just graduated from college and we were her first class. She was very sweet, but sometimes her attitude got to be a little bit much.
You're in 2nd grade.
Literally.
Like, you guys were probably being too silly.
This girl's energy the entire time is like this. That's why this story is so funny. It's like not the funniest story, but like the way that she tells it and her opinion of this teacher is so wild for a 2nd grader to be like this. Like she's out of pocket the entire time, obsessed.
That's what I was going to say. Just keep in mind, Camper's writing it now, but she was in 2nd grade having these thoughts.
Yeah, like this girl is born sassy. I remember a few times her getting overwhelmed and snapping at the class.
It happens.
She's new. One time in particular, I had faked a headache to go home. The office had called her to tell me my mom was here to pick me up. I started to get up and pack my stuff up in my backpack, and she yelled at me to hurry up because my mom was waiting and that I was taking forever. This pissed me off. Of course it didn't give her. I was already having a bad day.
What could have possibly been bad about? You lied about a headache and you're like, this day is stressing
Her
me
mental
out.
health she was done. And like this teacher was pissing her off. She's pissed off.
I'm done.
Oh my God, I'm
done.
so on the teacher at the side of the student because she's so funny. I was already having a bad day and her yelling at me for no reason made it worse. So I stormed out of the class and started to stomp down the hallway. In the hallway of our school, outside of the classrooms, they had a bulletin board with pictures and facts about each teacher. On my teacher's, it had a picture of her and her boyfriend. Now, maybe it might have been the fact that I was short and the picture was up high, or if I'm seeing things wrong, but the boyfriend in the picture looked exactly like our school's art teacher, who I also didn't like.
Oh no, a recipe for disaster.
So as I'm walking out of the class and see the picture, my friend who was leaving the bathroom turned the corner and I said to her, "Look, Miss So-and-so is dating Mr. So-and-so." My friends run over to look at the picture and say, "Oh my God, no way." Anyways, I leave school and everything seems to be fine. Until about a month later. We were sitting in class when her boyfriend walked in to bring her lunch. Me and my friends gasp. Of course.
Of course, you're like, oh my God.
It's so crazy when you're in second grade. He wasn't our art teacher, but we were sure the man in the picture was our art teacher.
Like, can you imagine her actually hanging that picture in the school?
I'm so
crazy.
So this take is so wrong, and they're so in heavy with it. Like, it could not be if she was dating the art teacher. Why would she post that on the bulletin board for the students to see? It gets worse.
Oh God.
So we come to the only conclusion possible. Our teacher is cheating on her boyfriend with the art teacher. At recess, me and my friends tell everyone we can by the end of recess, all of the second grade knows that Mrs. So-and-so is a hoe.
Oh no.
So we get back to class and it's business as normal again until the class snitch decides to open her mouth. "Is it true you're dating the art teacher?" It's that baby that's like wants to go to the Four Seasons Orlando. That's who the child was. "No," our teacher says, laughing. "Who told you that?" Then the class snitch looks at me and my friend who are sitting in the back of the classroom reading. She points at us and tells her that we did. Shoot. She pulls us into the hallway and asks where we heard that. My friend then goes, "She told me."
Oh my God.
God.
Blow after blow. But you know what? You started this. You stirred this pot.
To which I go, "Well, he's in the picture."
I saw it with my own eyes. I did.
She pulls the picture off the wall and shows it to us. Turns out it was not in fact the art teacher, but her boyfriend, the same man who brought her lunch. I start to laugh, but then stopped when I saw the angry look on her face. She was fuming. "Office, now," she told me. When I got to the office, they didn't care enough to do anything, so I got sent back to class without any punishment. My teacher still decided to call my mom.
Ew, okay. Why would she even put a picture of her and her boyfriend up there anyway? Like, just do a little selfie. Are you with a cat?
After that, I hated this woman. And yet, her and my mom are still friends on Facebook to this day. I feel like our camper, maybe like her mom posted something.
Oh my God.
And then like she saw that teacher liked it and it stirred up this crazy emotional story that she had to get off her chest. Like, camper, I love you so much. You are so funny. This is a girl that I want to like get dinner with, and I know we be best friends. You are so in the wrong on every turn of this story, but it's the way that you will not back down from your beliefs is something to be commended here. And I really think you might be upgraded to camp leader for your cabin. You might have to be a leader of your cabin because that you are a different level of commitment. It didn't matter to you. You're gonna push your narrative no matter what.
That's what we stand for here.
Mm-hmm.
We stand for just silliness and spreading
misinformation.
Yeah. In a healthy way, not political misinformation. Everybody shut up about that.
No, but your teacher was dating the art teacher and you were not going to take no for an answer.
Yeah, no, and also that narc, please. What did they have to gain?
Yeah, I love that the teacher wasn't happy with the principal not doing anything, so that she called your mom, and that your mom's still Facebook friends with her, and you're like, and I hate her still.
Yeah.
I get it. Teachers will do that to you sometimes.
That reminds me.
Please tell the story.
Okay, so I had an art teacher. My brother and I shared only a couple of teachers because we're years apart and we went to different schools. But at this one school, we shared an art teacher, and her name, I'm not even going to bleep it out. Her name is Mrs. Ward. And that's important to the story, right? Art teacher, keep that in mind. So my brother told me, he's like, she married her husband because Ward backwards is draw, right? And I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. Mind you, my brother's already out of this school. He's like, has nothing to do with it, but he found out who I had that year and he let me know. So what do? I go all over campus and I'm letting everybody know that she only married her husband because it's draw backwards. And then I don't know where I got this part, but I think I was just telling like a group of people. I was like, yeah, and her last name is draw backwards and she's bald. I'd never heard that anywhere. It just fell right out of me. And everyone's like, no. I said, don't look at her too close because you'll see it. You ever seen her put her hair up in a ponytail? I've never seen it in a bun. And everyone's like, oh my God. Her hair has never been up in a bun because she's bald under that wig. She wasn't. She wasn't bald.
So the only way to tell if someone's actually bald is the bun test.
What was I thinking?
Unless she's put that harigami in.
Origami.
That's it. No, you are just like our camper.
Yeah.
Misinformation, Missy.
Yeah, that's just a tale teller.
Well, that's a really clever. Whoever started the ward thing, backwards draw. That's interesting. You with the bald storyline was just hurtful.
Yeah, I know. Like, for what? For what? I think it was because we were painting watercolors and she was using a hairdryer, and like she flinched when it like came up and got her in the face, as anybody would, like the hot air. And I was like, she didn't do it because her wig would have flew off. Not true at all. And regardless, if she was bald, who was I to say anything? Also, campers, I was probably in 5th grade.
Miss Ward will be on the podcast next week to clear her name.
Oh my God.
We will be doing a hair pull test.
And then watercolors.
They say money can't buy love, but it turns out you just have to wait till the end for the check to come. We trade uncomfortable truths for comfortable lies, imaginary solutions to real problems. I'm James Sexton, host of Unlikely Sources. You may know me from my books or my many interviews, such as Soft White Underbelly, Lex Friedman, or one of the many other places I've shared my perspective on love, life, and the law. I know a divorce lawyer isn't the first person you think of for advice on how to keep your relationship strong, but wisdom is found in unexpected, counterintuitive places. In sickness, we see the value of health. The Godfather, it can teach you more about business than an MBA. Fight Club, it's actually about religion. The most valuable practical wisdom comes from unlikely sources, and it's time we sit up and pay attention to what they can teach us. So if you're looking for compelling conversation, blunt talk about culture, religion, romance, and how to navigate life in the machine of modern society, I'll look forward to spending some time with you. I'm Jim Sexton. Unlikely Sources will be available May 28th.
Scary stories around the campfire.
Welcome back to Scary Stories Around the Campfire. This is the part where we read spooky ghost stories or embarrassing stories or a little mix of them both. I'll let you decide what this one is, okay?
Is it up for interpretation?
It's once I get to that part, it's going to be interpreted, I'm sure, the same way throughout camp. Here we go. Hi, camp counselors.
Hi.
Thank you so much for hosting the most fun, lighthearted podcast out there at a time where it feels like everything is getting crazier by the day. Thank you so much for listening, camper. That was very sweet of you. I've gotten my fiance to start listening with me, and he thinks you're hilarious as well. Yes. Hi, straight camper. Why do I keep calling them counselors?
You got cancer on the brain.
Got
It's a
cancer.
medical condition. We're taking you to the doctor after the infirmary.
No, we literally are.
Lobotomy is coming your way.
Yes, please. I could go for lobotomy and Chinese food right now. This podcast and your videos are truly bright spots in my week. So thank you. I didn't have to read that. I'm sorry. It sounds like I'm just gloating about myself. Thank you, camper. I appreciate it. I have an embarrassing story that starts off with a genuine tragedy. But I need everyone to hang on to their canteens because I promise you, you'll be laughing and or gasping at my expense. Mostly gasping. I swear, if you've ever been embarrassed about anything, this story will offer a bit of perspective. I'm going to say right now, I think this might be the most embarrassing story that I've ever read on this podcast.
Wait, I'm so excited. Oh my God, I'm so locked in.
Whenever I happen to be exchanging embarrassing stories with people in my life, I tell this one and they say, yeah, that's bad. This is my public service. The story begins in the spring of 2011 during my freshman year of college. Everyone from my high school class received some truly horrible news. One of our classmates had tragically died in an accident while visiting friends at another college. I won't go into detail out of respect of his family and shared trauma of my classmates. He wasn't a close friend of mine, but existed in peripheral friend circles, and we had hung out during lunches after school. We were in various classes and clubs together. He was truly kind, funny, intelligent, and he was the type of person who was taken far too soon. At the time of his passing, everyone, including me, came home for his wake and funeral. It was a lot to process emotionally, but my friends got ourselves together and we went for the most horrible event we had ever attended. Important detail, my purse of choice at the time was a black Dooney and Burke mini backpack. It was a classic black, understated staple. So naturally, I wore it to our classmates' wake. When I arrived at the funeral home, there were hundreds of people there. A line had formed around the block. The community had come out in droves to show support to his family. When we got inside, my friends and I slowly scooted our way to the front of the room near the casket, where all of his best friends were sitting. One of them was my ex-boyfriend. We were still friends, but I hadn't seen him since I left for college. We talked and I offered my condolences. It was hard to muster the right words to say in such a terrible time, but they all seemed to be in okay spirits considering the circumstances. I was standing facing the front row where they were sitting. My back was to the casket. As I was talking to them, I took 2 steps back. I suddenly heard a loud metal crashing to the floor behind me that sounded like the drum fill from In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. You know that part where it's like...
Was it the casket?
I froze, and the room went from hundreds of people talking to a deafening hush. All eyes were on me. I quickly turned around and realized my DB backpack had brushed against a large framed photo of our late classmate that was on an easel next to the casket. She leaned into it. It fell off the easel. It smashed into his casket, which in my head was an open casket for some reason, for dramatic effect, and then shatters on the floor.
Did it close the casket or did it just shatter?
Do you want the truth or the real story? Oh, wait. Do you want the truth or my story? In my version, it slammed the casket shut, but I think the giant memorial photo fell off, smashed into his casket, and then onto the floor and broke.
I hate easels. They're like the worst piece of stability ever.
For Kira's wedding, I was in charge of the easel, and I couldn't figure it out. I was like, I'm going to have to stand here. I'll hold the sign so everybody knows which way the party is.
Ugh, Camper, this sucks.
I know this is really... It's
glass everywhere.
It's not the time. Not the time. My brain stopped working. All I could do was put my hands over my mouth and stared into the sea of eyes staring back at me. I was absolutely mortified. Our late classmate's sister, who was also sitting in the front row, came rushing over, picked up the photo of him on the ground, and began consoling me. I felt like the biggest asshole in the entire world. Camper, you didn't mean it. Trust me, we know that you had no choice in whether this happened or not, because if you did, it wouldn't have happened. I started profusely apologizing to his sister. That's all I could think to do. Voices in the room slowly started building again, and the moment passed after what seemed like an eternity. Coming back from that was terribly awkward, to say the least. And as I continued to pay my respects to his family, I now felt like I also had to apologize to every single one of them. You didn't mean to do it.
No, but also it was like you say, I'm so sorry for your loss. Also so sorry for the picture frame. I'm sorry for the glass. Sorry for the loud noise.
I'm sorry that the casket closed and smashed closed.
Yeah, because it's so awkward and uncomfortable sometimes to be in the situations. And then you have to sit and like pay your respects, and then it's like, okay, are we doing the lunch after?
Yeah, I wouldn't go to the luncheon.
No, and I hope you didn't go to the luncheon.
No, I really hope you didn't.
She's like, oh, these excellent egg salads. Are you the girl?
Oh my God, no, how embarrassing. Obviously, nothing comes close to the pain his family was feeling on that day, and my embarrassment was a non-story compared to what they were going through.
Totally.
But this was a moment of my life that I feel like can be used to console the people around me who were caught with their pants down in public, so to speak. I've had my fair share of embarrassing moments, but nothing in my 32 years on this earth has ever come close to the rush of blood on my face I felt during that moment. Love you guys. Thanks again for all you do. From the stumbling bozo in cabin ocho.
Guys, don't wear backpacks to funerals. Let's just start there.
What do you have in there, Camper?
Yeah, what was in there?
Oh God.
Her compact.
She didn't mean to, and it's a lesson that was learned. So that was back in 2011. Here we are, all these years later, still talking about it. That's
God.
So sorry, Camper. That is really embarrassing. At least. She didn't back up into the casket and it smashed on the floor.
That's what I thought it was when I was hearing it. I was like, this can't be true. This can't be true.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for writing in today. Thank you to all of our contributing campers here. You will all get a little badge that says, I wrote in.
You won't. Legally, we can't do that right now.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Fictitiously,
yeah. You
Nothing
get
we say is
in
real.
honor. Yeah. The honor of you do receive it. If you could give us a 5-star review, we would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, we'll be back Wednesday. It won't be too long till you hear our voices again. Don't worry.
Yeah, and there's plenty of episodes in the backlog. And there's also a Patreon. We love you so much. Thank you for being here, campers. And with that being said, lights out, campers.